AC went out for a couple days, and they were working on it and putting that new unit in or something, and that wasn't very comfortable either.
Thank you for joining us, Tim. One morning, I came in on a Monday morning in July, and the furnace was on. And I walked in the door. That was before we had bailiffs or anything. I walked in and my glasses fogged up. It was about 110 on the first floor and about 120 on the second floor. And that was the hottest building I've ever been in, other than like a sauna. Thank you for joining us, Tim, on short notice. I do appreciate it. Debbie and Daniel and I are just sort of here waiting for other things to happen. So give me a moment to get things situated here. And Mr. Irwin is with us. Good morning, Mr. Irwin. This is Judge Middleton here at the courthouse. I've got your lawyer, Mr. Tim George, and I do appreciate he came in on very short notice. Daniel Frazine, your PO, is also here, and Deborah Davis from the prosecutor's office.
Yes, sir.
You got picked up last night on a bench warrant.
That's incorrect, sir.
All right, what happened? Did you turn yourself in?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. When did you do that?
I did that about 3 o'clock through the VA representative, Stoney Summy.
Okay. Daniel indicated that Stoney had input on this. I haven't heard from him yet.
Yes, sir.
I have some input from Stoney.
All right, well, just a minute. Let's call these officially. File 202618 is a use of a controlled substance charge. The defendant pled to use of a controlled substance, and then he failed to appear for sentencing. I told him to turn himself in back on January 19th, and he did not do that. And a bench warrant issued and has been outstanding since. So he's set for sentencing on the use of a controlled substance. In file 192573, he was placed on probation on a domestic violence charge. There was a notice of a probation violation hearing, and that was set for December of 2020. He didn't appear for the hearing, so he needs to have a probation violation hearing or arraignment and a sentence on a use of a controlled substance charge. Daniel indicated that Stoney is recommending some sort of treatment program. Let me ask you a question, and Tim, if you want me to stop, tell him, but where have you been since January?
Sir, you've handled my case since quite a long time now, leading into end of last year. Leading into December, I went through the eviction process where I was evicted from my apartment in Constantine. We had that mailing issues, and that's kind of where everything kind of stumbled.
Well, I didn't ask the question. Where have you been? Just couch surfing?
No, sir. I've been working. I've been in 3 Rivers. I mean, I've been around.
All right. What's your
address? Just one more time, sir.
What's your address?
1218 4th Street, 3 Rivers, Michigan, 49093.
All right. Now, you knew that I wanted you to turn yourself in but you were laying under the radar. How did Stoney convince you to come in and deal with these?
Sir, I was not hiding. My uncle had recently passed, and my father was his whatever. Everything got handed over to him. My father was in the Philippines at the time. Due to the COVID, he couldn't come back. So I was kind of waiting for him to come back to see how everything else played out, to see what I had to do. And then it just kind of got to the point to where my dad's visa got held up for another month. I wasn't waiting no longer, and I needed to get this taken care of. So Stoney was the best channel that I knew to get this handled quickly.
Sorry, what was that
So I got
address again?
121843.
1218?
Yes.
Correct.
All right, Tim, I understand you haven't had a chance to speak to him at all, and apparently Stoney's got some input I haven't been the beneficiary of yet. I'm not very happy with him. He also has another charge that Autumn's going to see him on a little later this afternoon, which is another criminal case, 2022352. I told him, you go to the jail and we'll talk about this, and he just didn't, and then he quit showing up. So whether you were hiding or not hiding,
That's incorrect.
just didn't come. But you're here now. So we still have the question of he asked for a PV hearing on the domestic violence charge, and he's pending sentence on the controlled substance charge. I don't really know what he's been doing. So I'm reluctant to just pull the trigger at this point. Also, the other case, let me look and see what that is.
I think he failed to appear to run a driving while license suspended charge, did he not?
Yes.
That was all due to a mailing issue from being evicted during this COVID thing. You know, it's hard to find housing right now too. Mr. Middleton's handled the case since then. We've had our mailing issues and
The driving suspended, yeah, you failed to appear on that one. That's not very, I might as well do that one. Anyway, you've got also as a DWLS case. File 202352. Tim, do you have any suggestion here?
I think it would make sense, especially if Stoney's going to be involved and make recommendations. I think it would make sense to set this at a time where he can be here and have input and try to get everything done at once.
All right. I agree with that. I'm gonna set sentence on the controlled substances case. (202618) and a PV hearing on the DV case 192573 and a pretrial in the DWLS case 202352. That's an ordinance case. I'm not sure who's got that. 4. Let's take a look here. How about next Wednesday, May 5th at 11? That seems to be open.
I have a trial with Judge Tomlinson that morning, Your Honor.
Well, that's always the way it works. All right, let's took up and. Oh, I've got a conference. Darn it.
I could do it the next morning on the 6th.
I'm at the judges' conference, which used to be a great conference. Now it's all virtual. But the day's blocked off, and I'm not going to interrupt all that for this. How about Monday, May 10th at 11? Or so we'll say 10:30.
Your Honor, that would actually work because I have another case set for sentencing in front of you, which Stoney might have input on.
Is that Salter?
It's Salmon.
Okay. All right, that'll work out. Monday, May 10th at 10:30. Bond in the PV case. $192,573 is $200 PR. Bond in the DWLS case. $202,552 is 200 PR. Bond in the controlled substance case. 20-2618 FY is canceled. So I'm not going to see you until Monday, May 10th. I apologize for that, but that's the date that's available. You're going to sit in the meantime. We'll see what Stoney recommends. There's going to be a jail component on the PV and on the drug case. I told you flat out directly, you need to be here at the jail. You were missing court. You'd show up for some of them, miss other ones. You did get evicted in that other case. We struggled to get through that. I'm not sure what's going on. Daniel was.
It was just a mailing issue, sir.
Well,
Simply, it was a mailing issue. That's
there
why
was
I
no
couldn't show
mailing
up.
issue when I told you to go to the jail. You and I had a
Sir, I
conversation.
never was.
I told you here on the record to go to jail, and then we would deal with it further. All right, anyway, you're gonna sit till the 10th of May, and then we're gonna see what everybody's got to say. Mr. George, thank you for coming in on short notice, and Mr. Irwin, I'll see you on May the 10th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. I guess I'll just release the jail's room. All right, Matthew Huff, Maria Reyes-Tellez, Jordan Yancey.
Morning.
Morning. Matt, do we have anything from pre-trials this morning?
Nope. We
I like
just,
your and Dan's office. It's very nice. You guys
Yeah.
have got matching furniture.
But you banned virtual backgrounds.
Scale approved.
Yeah. They should approve my goats. They're very cute. It calms people.
All right, let's address another thing.
Well, have a good day. I'm going to be out of here.
All right, thank you, Daniel.
Bye,
Wait a
Dan,
minute,
thank you.
Dan.
Thank you.
We had a deferral this morning, Matt, for 9 o'clock on Tiffany Bowman. That is file 202566SM. Retail fraud. I thought she'd completed it.
From the notes that I'm looking at, I see Rose received unsuccessful completion of the economic crimes program.
Okay, that's the I got her mixed up with someone else.
It does say that she called on April 16th and didn't have the Zoom information. Rose was given information to contact and sent the defendant community work service information. I can check her file and see what we have records of.
I didn't see it in there. She's failed to appear for sentencing. All right. And once upon a time, I would have done a bench warrant. Now I'm going to do a order to show cause. All right, that was set for 9 this morning. Now, we've got a matter that is set with a little bit of uncertainty. We have Maria Dolores Reyes. Ms. Reyes is here. Her lawyer, Jordan Yancey, is here. Ms. Reyes, tell us, could you unmute your mic?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. You were charged with malicious destruction of property over $1,000, which was a felony. It was reduced to a misdemeanor, and you pled to malicious destruction under 1,000, but over 200. So the matter got set for a hearing, although it isn't exactly clear. There was a probation order, and you were ordered to pay restitution of $1,930. There's not very clear notes in here, but it got set for a hearing today. My recollection is, Deborah Davis and I were discussing this before we went on the record, how this actually got set for a hearing this morning. There's nothing in the ROA or in the on-base list, but my understanding, Jordan, is that she objected to the restitution component because the car got repoed in Chicago or something.
Your Honor, at the time of sentencing, we learned that the car was seized by Cook County as part of a criminal investigation. That was raised at the time of sentencing. However, the court did order the restitution regardless. I did talk to Ms. Reyes upon receiving notice of today's hearing, and she indicated that she's still in the understanding he does not possess the car as it was seized as part of that criminal investigation. So she does not feel she's required to pay that restitution to him as he no longer has the vehicle.
All right. Deb, you have any input on that?
Your Honor, I don't have any proof of that. I don't really have any notes regarding that either. I guess as far as if it was seized for part of an investigation, if it's coming back to the victim, I don't know if he got it fixed before, so I'm kind of flying blind here. I guess, is there, Ms. Yancey, do you have something other than her verbal assertion that this is the way it is?
Don't. I know the victim was notified and did not appear at the time of sentencing last year. I think it was in August. So I'm not sure if your office had any follow-up with him or not.
Let me add something to this.
All
Your
right.
Honor, in your criminal file, in your on-base file, Ms. Reyes did send me a copy of the documentation that the victim received from Cook County.
No,
That has
just
been
It's in the
updated.
on-base file? It's in the
It is
on-base
in-
file?
Yeah,
What's it listed as?
generic correspondence.
I don't have that one.
I entered it on March 31st.
Debbie and I were searching for it.
Did I get a copy of that? I don't think I had that.
It's under generic correspondence?
Correct.
I don't see it.
I don't have it in any of my tabs. Autumn, can you email that
I
to
just
me?
did.
Jordan, thank you.
To me too, I can't see
I
it.
just did. I've
All right.
just emailed all three of you.
All right, thank you.
Well, the only reason we're here is because, as Ms. Yancey stated, Ms. Reyes contacted me with that documentation, wondering, as it states, she claims that the victim, who is her husband in this case, no longer has this vehicle, and she was wondering if she had to pay restitution in this case. I went through the district court administrator. She believed that since it was ordered in this criminal case, that yes, she would still have to pay that because it was court ordered. I asked Your
Well,
Honor, you said.
I can amend the
hearing.
conditions of probation. Let's set this subject to restitution. Subject to review. At the time of discharge from probation. I can excuse it if she otherwise complies with the terms of probation. Ms. Reyes, tell us, you were going through a divorce. Was the divorce completed?
No.
What jurisdiction is that divorce in?
I guess my husband didn't appear, or he
Well,
didn't
is it
serve.
here-
No.
Is
He
it
didn't
here in
serve-
St. Joe County or in Illinois?
What, the truck or?
No,
Where
no,
did you
no.
file
Your
for
divorce, what county is that in?
I didn't get divorced. I'm still married.
Did you
But was
file-
there a divorce? There was a divorce filed, wasn't there?
Yeah, but my husband, he didn't serve me the papers.
All right, so there is no divorce in the
Yeah.
works right now?
No.
Do you know where he is?
He over the weekend he went to jail. But he bailed out. I think he's still
Where-
at his house. I don't know.
He went to jail where?
Centerville.
No.
Your Honor, I think this might be the one that we had set that ICE is involved potentially.
Oh, yeah,
Now that
is
the
that-
name it's ringing a bell for me.
I saw
Um,
him over the weekend. There's no ICE conditions in this case. He was bonded out on a DV charge. He's not with her
So-
because of the no contact order.
so he's charged with domestic violence on you?
Correct.
Oh, boy.
But I will also note, Your Honor, that Ms. Reyes was placed on probation of August of last year on 12-month probation. She's technically over her 6 months. She just hasn't paid anything in this case.
Well, let's see if she pays everything but the restitution issue. We can deal with that, and it doesn't sound like he's gonna be real hard to find. But one question I have is, who's the restitution to? It might be to the insurance company. And
No, it's to his dad. He never had insurance on the truck.
all right,
But
well,
they
his
never
dad may have some opinion about it.
Yeah,
Um,
but his dad, what's it called? They left the truck how it was. They never fixed it or anything.
All right, well, we'll follow on that further. You haven't paid 1 penny, so I want you to pay up to the restitution amount, and then we can review this further.
Okay.
And I'm sorry that you got victimized in a new domestic violence case. All right, you're still on probation, subject to discharge, and I'll review it if you pay everything else off, and we may get some input. But I agree, let's say you did $5,000 worth of damage to a $6,000 car. They're like, well, wait a minute, you damaged my car. And the next day the car gets seized and taken. So you're saying, well, you really aren't out anything. Well, they may say, but still, you smashed up my car. So
It looks
That's a-
like from the paperwork, this incident happened in April of last year, and according to the Illinois paperwork, it was seized at the end of May. So it looks like the vehicle would not have gotten
yeah,
the
so they
repairs
didn't
done.
actually spend anything. All right, well, you're otherwise doing okay on your probation. I want you to start to pay on it, then we'll review this, and I can excuse it. In a probation case, the judge can alter the sentence. So there's no sense paying restitution for a car that there's not any restitution issue on. Nonetheless, you did a bunch of damage to it, over $1,000 worth of damage. And it's like, well, okay, it's not my problem, it got seized. You know, you did a lot of damage to it. So let's see how you do on the rest of it, and we can review that at a subsequent time. So you stay in contact with your probation agent, you're free to go. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you. Then we have Sean Rogers. Is he in custody? That was Jordan's.
No, he's not in custody.
Jordan bailed on us. File 20.
Well, this is an arraignment.
It's a PV arraignment. Well, and he's not here, so
No.
it isn't going to take very long. I don't know. Debbie had a party and no one came, and it's sort of been the way it's been all morning. I would have had Jordan do Sean Carson or Herman Moore as long as she was here, but she left. This is file 201659, People versus Sean Paul Rogers, charged with operating while intoxicated, third offense, reduced to an operating while intoxicated, second offense. On probation to Matt Huff. Mr. Huff filed a probation violation petition essentially for the defendant failing to appear for probation, and he's consistent because he's failed to appear for this. Matt, any input on this?
Not really. I'm a little bit disappointed with the fact that he didn't show up. You can see it reflected in my status report that I thought maybe he would show up today and we would get back on track. He sent me an email indicating he would do so, but I will be updating the status report going forward. So if we do pick him up,
Well, I have a phone number, but I'm not going to call him, and I'm not going to do an order to show cause. This case is appropriate for a bench warrant. He's not reporting. He didn't show up for this. There's no sense to do a show cause to make him show up for something that he's already not showing up for.
I will say he does have a case that this was split, happened in the same incident, but is being handled in LaGrange County. He seems to be showing up for those court dates.
All right. Thank you. We'll do a bench warrant, no bond, see judge. So Debbie, that I think finishes our work until,
11, all the
11.
sentencings.
and I'm gonna work on some other projects in the meantime. So I'll see you at 11. Thank you, Matt.
Very good.
Yep,
Thank you.
and welcome back.
Yeah, thanks.
Now we can all go on vacation.
Well, I hope you have a nice one because I did. So, all right, I'll see you guys later. All right, we'll stop our live.